and which news have been given the priority or rather the highlights. And we have the news about the Africa Forward Summit 2026, where it's talking about Nairobi is currently hosting the Africa Forward Summit. That was formerly the France Africa Summit, marking the first time this event has been held in an Anglophone country since 1973. Yes, over 30 heads of state and 4,000 delegates, delegates, are in attendance, causing major traffic disruptions in the CBD. So this is the first time these Africa Forward Summit. Kitambo ilikuwa inaitwa France Africa Summit. This is the first time itakuwa held in an Anglophone country since 1973. So the lastly when it was held in an Anglophone country was in 1973. And over 30 heads of state. So we are expecting over 30 heads of state who will be attending, and also 4,000 delegates. And these probably will cause major traffic disruptions in the CBD. Well, we have another. We've got news about Ruto-Macron agreements. The Ruto-Macron agreements, they are talking about President William Ruto and French President Emmanuel Macron have signed 11 strategic agreements worth billions, targeting green energy, digital technology, and expansion of Africa, that is of Nairobi commuter rail. That is simply about President William Ruto and this is another man, the French President Emmanuel Macron. Yes, they've signed an 11 strategic agreement worth billions of money, targeting the green energy and digital technology, and even the expansion of Nairobi commuter rail. Well, let us look at the Standard. Before we go to the Standard, in the Daily Nation, we've got this case of the Nakuru Reverend, this Reverend from Nakuru, from this church, the PCE.
Nguvu ya safari yetu, nuru ya kujenga na kuangaza nchi. Hatuachi kupiga hatua, nuru yetu ni nuru ya Kenya. Kutoka nyumbani, viwandani, nuru ya kujenga, kuwezesha ndoto.
Nuru ya
*977# or download.
Yes, so we're sorry for the technical problems. Welcome back. Let us continue. We were looking at the news about this Nakuru reverend who was murdered, and we've said that 2 suspects were caught through mobile tracking that was done by the DCI. Yes, so we were looking at the activation signal. What happened? Wanasema ya kwamba during the violent robbery that happened on May 3rd, 2026, the attacker stole cash and mobile phone belonging to both Reverend and the church watchman. Remember ya kwamba this church watchman was seriously injured by these men. So a few days later, one of the stolen phones was switched on. So after wameiba these phones and the cash from the Reverend and the watchman, a few days later, they switched on a phone, sending a signal to the nearby network towers. Na hivyo ndo kiliwarama wakapatikana. So there are still details about this. Wanasema ya kwamba detectives used a tracking system to follow this signal as it moved to different locations within Nakuru County. By triangulating the signal, they were able to narrow down to the suspect's exact hiding place. So using this signal, they were able to get this suspect up to wherever he was hiding. Yes, so when police raided the location, they found 2 suspects in possession of the stolen mobile phones and cash that were confirmed to belong to the late cleric. So after police wamefuatilia this signal, they got these 2 suspects wenye walipata na simu ya Reverend and the cash that they took from the Reverend. Well, still in the Daily Nation, we have the anatomy of the massacre that is happening in Kitui County. Yes, so wanasema ya kwamba a gang of suspecting camel herders executed by brutal killings of 7 residents in Kwakamari region of Kitui County. So they say that to prevent residents from calling for help, the gang first cut off access of the only high ground with cellular reception in the area. This ensured that authorities in Sekuru, located about 40 kilometers away from poor roads, could not be alerted in time. So you can imagine these people, what they did. They made sure that they have cut off the only high ground with cellular reception, to make sure that when these people call for help, they will not be able to reach to anyone, since there's no signal sending anywhere. So the assault began at approximately 11 a.m. at the market center, which serves as the primary entry and exit point of the village. The attackers immediately set fire to a petrol station, shops, and motorcycles to create chaos and block escape routes. So these people, they made sure that when these people send or rather call for help, no one will know whatever is happening. And what they did at 11 a.m. at the market center, the only entry and the exit point of the village, what they did is that they set fire to a petrol station, maduka za watu, and the motorcycles, maduka za watu. They set fire to this just to walikuwa wanataka kuangamiza these people in Kitui County in Sekuru. So that is what they did. The gang divided their forces to strike different locations simultaneously. So wanasema ya kwamba at the market they gunned down 4 people
Hii familia yenu ya kuheshimika sana.
Ni kweli kabisa.
Huyu msichana anakuambia amepata kijana mzuri.
Where is the money? This girl is not just going to go like that.
You do realize we are also here to judge her.
Ati?
Yani, chapati hakuna. Hakuna harusi.
Dola imeisha.
Boss, muda! Dola! Doi! Hey, asante. Aya, sawa.
Wewe, wapi pesa?
Sasa. Ani ukuni twende.
Mpenzi wangu. Asante.
Harusi tunayo.
Unga wa dola. Kitu shwari.
Hii familia yenu ya kuheshimika sana.
Ni kweli kabisa.
Huyu msichana anakuambia amepata kijana mzuri.
Where is the money? This girl is not just going to go like that.
You do realize we are also here to judge her.
Ati?
Yani, chapati hakuna. Hakuna harusi.
Dola imeisha.
Boss, muda! Dola! Doi! Hey, asante. Aya, sawa.
Wewe, wapi pesa?
Sasa. Ani ukuni twende.
Mpenzi wangu. Asante.
Harusi tunayo.
All right, let us continue. We've got our last headline on the Daily Nation. The others utakimbia pale jichukulie gazeti yako the Daily Nation, jisomee and venture more into this news. You learn more things that are happening, but meanwhile I will give you some of the headlines that I have in the Daily Nation zenye zitakuguide kuingia pale basi that you will read and understand what is happening. Well, we have the irony of an African football centenary marked in silence. Hii inasema kwamba our country Kenya became the first winners of Africa's oldest international football competition. Ilikuwa inaitwa the Gossip Cup back in the year 1926. So ukipiga hiyo hesabu ya 1926, today we are in 2026. Those are almost 100 years kama hiyo. So this is the 100th anniversary after wame win the Africa's oldest international cup football competition, that is the Gossip Cup. So maybe in we can look at it. They say that the first ever international match between two countries took place at the Kenya-Uganda Railway Sport Ground, that is known as Landimawe in Nairobi. The match ended in a 1-1 draw, necessitating a replay to determine the winner. So the replay happened in May 3rd, 1926. 2 days later, the teams met again. Kenya emerged victorious within a 2-1 win. This made Kenya the first side to lift the Gossip Cup trophy. So this means that so Kenya became the first. They won against Uganda. Yes, and they lifted the trophy. That is the Gossip Cup trophy in 1926. So this marks their 100th anniversary since that day. So we don't know what happened. That is why we are talking of an irony of African football. So since 1926 up to today, we are not aware of what is happening in Kenya, or rather, whatever the cup will still emerge again and continue being bringing teams together to compete about it. So the other headlines that I have in the Daily Nation, we have the French business leader who want from African markets. So with these, we've got these French business leaders. There's something that they want from the African market. Also, we have the TSC that has urged to address skewed distribution of teachers. And finally, yes, the others have looked at them. So lastly, we want to look at the Star. So utakimbia chukulia gazeti yako ya The Daily Nation. Yes, enda usome. It has got many things to inform you as a Kenyan. Well, so we look at the Star. Yes. So the Star, we've got
Umeme nguvu ya safari yetu, nuru ya kujenga na kuangaza nchi, hatuachi.
Yes, the Star. We have the new treasury tax plan. So there is a plan, the new treasury tax plan. But the national treasury is introducing a 1.5% withholding tax on scrap metals, sales, and shifting focus towards taxing phones and second-hand clothes to bring revenue gaps. Oh, I remember it was last week when we were talking about the 5% tax that will be taxed from the mitumba clothes. Kumbuka kuna hii tulikuwa tunaongelea about these people who sell second-hand clothes ama the mitumba clothes watakuwa wanatozwa 5% tax. So still the national treasury is introducing a 1.5 withholding tax on scrap metal sales. So wale watu wanauza the scrap metals watakuwa wanatozwa 1.5% tax. And also they've shifted focus towards the taxing phones. I don't know what about phones, but 1.5% phones and second-hand clothes to bridge revenue gaps. Remember we talked about Kenya has got a debt of 12.29 trillion, and they are just looking in a way on how they can handle it and pay the debt. Well, we have the UDA international friction. Remember this governor from Murang'a County, Irungu Kangata. So he has defended his decision to distance himself from the UDA party, alleging that the ruling party is using intimidation tactics similar to those that led to the collapse of the Jubilee party. So Irungu Kangata, the governor of Murang'a County, amejitetea why he wants to leave the UDA, and not he wants, but he has already he is already out of UDA because alisema kwamba he will not vie a seat from the UDA party. So the reason yenye amepeana ni kwamba amesema the party alleging the party is using intimidation tactics zenye zilikuwa zinatumika na Jubilee na zilifanya they led to the collapse of Jubilee. And I guess that nowadays we don't hear of Jubilee. So what made to the collapse of Jubilee is these intimidation tactics, and that is what Irungu Kangata saw in UDA, and that is what made him to resign and get out of this party. And we also have Rhodes Fund clash. Yes, the Senate and the national government are in a standoff over the sharing formula of the Rhodes Maintenance Levy Fund, with senators demanding 49% be channeled directly to counties. Yes, so there are these funds that are being used to just work on the infrastructure, the roads, and the senators are demanding that the 49% of the money should be channeled directly to counties. Yeah, so that is what is highlighted in the Star. And for today, wacha tuangalie Taifa Leo. Taifa Leo inasema nini about what is happening in Kenya. So inasema kwamba kuna news za machozi na haki, tears and justice. What about this? So inasema justice for Ojwang. Ojwang is a teacher. So inasema kwamba protests have erupted in Homa Bay following the killing of a teacher. This is Ojwang, allegedly by police, leading to the torching of the Oyugis police station. Yeah. So we have also the health crisis. This is concerning arising as members of the Social Health Authority SHA report being forced to pay for their own prescription drugs out of pocket despite active premium payments. Yes, so that is what is highlighted in the Taifa Leo. So this news about Ojwang, they are just pinpointing about this the maandamano that are happening in Homa Bay County following the death of Ojwang. So having that, we shall have a short break and we shall embark on our newspaper review within short time. Thank you.
From the furthest villages where water now flows, to classrooms filled with laughter and light.
Safaricom Foundation has announced a 210 million shilling investment targeting health, education and economic empowerment projects.
Safaricom wants to continue to celebrate with Kenyans and to improve the lives of Kenyans in every small way we can.
To hands that care for the sick.
I specifically thank Safaricom Foundation for the 50 million donation to Mathare Referral Hospital.
We've learned that progress is not just built, it's shared.
Tunataka kuhakikisha kuwa hakuna mtoto, mama, baba ambaye atalala njaa kwa sababu ya janga la njaa.
When the world slowed down and the COVID-19 pandemic tested every bond, we found new ways to stay close, even when we had to stay apart.
We have supported the country for 6 months now, 7 months. We went with this direction to support the country during this period, to support a cashless environment, but also to cushion Kenyans during this period.
The government provides, I think, people above 70 years old a stipend every month, and they used to wait maybe 4 or 5 months before they can go and get it because the cost of transportation for them and the effort was very difficult. But today they receive it as a voucher and they can cash it out at any M-Pesa outlet right next door.
Every chapter of Safaricom's story leads back to one purpose: to transform lives. And that transformation begins where every future is born, in the classroom.
No child should have to struggle just to learn. And we know that we cannot intervene on all the 25,000 primary schools or all the 11,000 secondary schools, but we can do our part. So Citizens of the Future, it's about changing the narrative that most of us grew with. It's about creating equal opportunities for every learner, regardless of where they come from.
Building a better Kenya isn't just about technology. It's about humanity. It's about standing side by side, time and time again. It is our nature, the spirit of togetherness. Harambee! The heartbeat of who we are. A reminder that progress means nothing unless it moves all of us forward.
Hii familia yenu ya kuheshimika sana.
Ni kweli kabisa.
Huyu msichana anakuambia amepata kijana mzuri. Where is the money? This girl is not just going to go like that.
You do realize we are also here to judge her.
Ati? Entam.
Yani, chapati hakuna. Hakuna harusi.
Ma, dola imeisha.
Boss, muda! Usipati dola! Doi! Asante. Aya, sawa.
Wewe, wapi pesa?
Sasa. Ani huku twende.
Mpenzi wangu. Asante.
Harusi tunayo.
Unga wa dola.
Good, welcome so much, and let us continue with the newspaper review. And before we continue with whatever I have, kimbia pale Facebook. We are live at Nile TV, via YouTube, the same. Yes, share your comment. What do you say about the news today? The review that we've done up to there. What is your commentation? Yes. I wanna see, nitaingia pale basi nione mnasema aje kuhusu the news that we've looked at up now. So we will really appreciate ukiingia Facebook, you can follow, you can even share for more people to get the newspapers review every morning. Yes, so itatusaidia sana kujua vipi na ambavyo tunaendelea, and we are still looking upon to bring the event that we had last time of someone venturing more into politics after the newspapers review, and we shall do that as we continue. So let us look at some of the highlights that have been mentioned in the Daily Nation. Yes, in the Daily Nation. Ndiposa basi tukitoka hapa, yes, utaangalia moja upate basi kujisomea. Yes, and it shall be good with us. So in the not the Daily Nation but the Standard, sorry. So the Standard, we had looked at the fuel levy trap, where we see that Ruto raised fuel levy for addition of 5 shillings as collateral for the 120 billion loan. Yes, so hapa ni pale penye they want to add 5 shillings to repay the loan that they have of 120 billion shillings. So we have the Standard Nation, the Standard, they are news about governance and economic pressures. So the fuel price alarm. The Senate has issued a warning regarding potential consumer abuse and price hikes amidst current fuel supply issues. Hapa ni pale penye the Senate raise a warning and an alarm regarding the potential consumer abuse and price hikes amidst current fuel supplies in Kenya. Remember hapa tumesema kwamba Ruto raised fuel levy for additional of 5 shillings. So about this, the Senate has raised an alarm. They have raised a warning concerning this. So we shall wait and see what shall happen. Tutaendelea basi kukupea maarifa about the same. Tujue wameamua vipi kuhusu this fuel price, because it is really giving Kenyans a burden. Most of those work with the motorcycles, those who the drivers, and even the business people. For the businesses to run, they have to pass through these vehicles, these motorcycles. And also maybe you'll get these people who go to work every morning using these transport means. So whenever the fuel price is high, it means that probably the fare will be also high, and so inapea Kenyans an headache. And so that is why the Senate have issued a warning regarding the potential consumer abuse and price hikes amidst the current fuel supply issues. Well, again, we have the President Ruto has endorsed new legal protections and international auditors in the public service, aiming to shield them from dismissal as a means to curb the loss of nearly 660 billion annually to corruption. Just imagine. Yes, so that is what has happened. President Ruto has endorsed a new legal protections for international auditors in the public service, and this is aiming to shield them from dismissal as a means to curb the loss of nearly 660 billion annually to corruption. So bado tunaangalia tuone kama this will work ama bado this story na the corruption will still continue. So we have also the strike threats, where the digital taxi operators have issued a nationwide strike notice starting today, protesting low fares against the backdrop of rising fuel costs. Yes, these taxi operators, they have issued a nationwide strike, and this only due to protesting low fares against the backdrop of rising fuel costs. Lastly, about governance and economic pressures, we have the West Pokot mine tragedy in tuliongelelea last week. We say that investigative reporting titled "It's Gold or Death" details how poverty is driving locals in West Pokot to risk their lives in killer pits despite official warnings. So there is these about the West Pokot mine, where these people they have this slogan of it is either gold or death. So wanaingia pale wanajitafutia mapato yao ya kila siku, but they are also risking their lives because we've seen many people dying from the same, and this details how poverty is driving locals. So if it is not poverty, then they would have not been there. So inamaanisha kwamba these people are really suffering, and due to this they just see that it is better that they venture into this mining site for them to get their daily breads. So yes, they are risking their lives. These are people from the West Pokot in these pits, in these mines. We've also got something to do with diplomacy and social crisis that have been also given priority, or rather they have given priority in the Daily Nation. And they are talking of one, the Mbadi's tax U-turn. Wanasema kwamba the Treasury CS John Mbadi has shelved promised tax reliefs for low income earners, those earning below 50,000 shillings, by excluding them from Finance Bill 2026, forcing a longer wait for inflation cushioning measures. Yes, so the CS John Mbadi, he has shelved promised tax relief for low income earners, those people who are earning below 50,000 Kenya shillings. Yes, he has excluded them from the Finance Bill 2026. So haya ndio John Mbadi amefanya to exclude these people who are earning below 50,000 Kenya shillings from the Finance Bill of 2026. All right, we have also the teenage pregnancy surge. Remember, the Kenya Economic Survey 2026. The Kenya Economic Survey 2026 has revealed a worrying rise in pregnancies among children that are aged between 10 to 14 years, citing poverty and lack of reproductive health education as primary drivers. And Nairobi County has been mentioned as the lead of these teenage pregnancies in Kenya. So these teenage pregnancies, we are talking of the children who are between 10 to 14 years. Kule Nairobi, mambo ni mbaya. So these children have been reported to have high rates of pregnancies, and this is mainly being driven by the poverty, maybe lack of reproductive health, education, Yes, so they are not getting enough education from the government, rather from the people who are responsible for that, and this is causing these people, rather these children, to get early pregnancies. Good. Having looked at that, so we are just urging the government of Nairobi to be keen on this, because whenever these children get pregnant at this early age, these might bring up many things in this county of Nairobi and to Kenya in whole. So we have also we've looked at the African Forward Summit. So hiyo utaenda pale jipatie ama pata gazeti yako ya The Daily Nation, look at it. I'll just talk about the environmental and health alerts as how it has been given, the reports about it in the Daily Nation. Wanasema ya kwamba the reports indicate a mysterious death of over 100,000 crows along the coasts and severe flooding inundating informal settlement in Nairobi. So these are, it is measuring more on the flooding that is ongoing in the coast region and also in Nairobi. So wanasema ya kwamba the reports are indicating a mysterious death of over 1,000 crows along the coast, and also the severe flooding indicating formal settlement. You know, these people, whenever in Nairobi, whenever the flooding is too high, they are just advised to relocate from their places to other places. Yes. So lastly, in the Daily Nation is about the political spotlight, and imeongelea kuhusu hii inasema the UDA internal shifts. This is where the Murang'a governor, the Irungu Kang'ata's recent political moves are being analyzed as a potential signal for a broader Mount Kenya exodus from the ruling party. Yes, so we've looked at these several times in this morning show ya Nayo na magazeti about this senator, the Irungu Kang'ata, who decided to leave the UDA party. But today we've seen that he has defended the reason why he went out, or rather the reason why he resigned from the UDA party. Sema ya kwamba kile ambacho kilifanya the Jubilee party kuisha is what he saw in the UDA party coming. Yes, so that is all about the news that have been given priority, mostly in the Daily Nation this morning. Yes, and so yes, I'm just waiting for maybe what is your comment, your commentaries about the news today. What do you see? And